So this is what driving in Alaska's like in the wintertime. Evidently had a little bit of snow the night before, so there's still snow on the road. But in our area, that could have been days.
Pretty slick, but actually the roads are better during the winter. Feels like the frost heaves come up.
It does take a lot of the dips and bumps and potholes out. The snowplow scrapes it pretty clean. We'll see caribou quite often. They migrate through the area.
You know, in the old days here, in the 70s, sometimes it would take you a half hour to get through the herd of these caribou that go on across the road.
And then there are also moose.
Moose are everywhere.
My lifestyle sucks. This is ice fog here, as you can see, in the early winter, when the large lakes start freezing over, you get the ice fog, and it tinsels the trees.
Trees don't put out very big limbs up here because it's so cold in the wintertime.
Got a mama cow and a baby there checking us out while we were out snow machining. This is up on top of Slide Mountain.
A couple of healthy moose there. That's moose too.
Ice fishing. Sometimes ice can freeze to how thick, Digger?
I couldn't go 3 feet. I've seen it 3 feet.
3-4 feet. And, so thick that you can even drive a diesel tractor trailer rig out on ice. And
A lot of people, they do that. This is a great horned owl.
This is Hootie.
He broke his wing, so he's unable to really fly and do much on his own. So we kind of feed him squirrels and actually just store-bought meat.
Well, you know what? She brought all those babies up here one year and sat on this upper deck here and taught them how to kill these voles and stuff coming out of the holes in the hill over here. We under the bird feeder. She knows them voles come out to that bird feeder every night, so she brought those babies over here and showed them how to kill them voles here. That's what they did here. I had all 5 of them on the railing up here. So I got pictures of them on Jerry's railing down there at his place. Yeah, those big horned owls, the great horned owls, they have nests all up and down the highway here. And that's the Northern Lights.
A lot of times during the winter months, the colder it is and the clearer the sky, the better you'll see them. And a lot of times they'll be a green like this, or sometimes a purple or pink will show up, blue. And it just kind of drifts and waves and mirrors and reflects in the sky. And sometimes they'll last for a couple hours.
And that's the reason you should have an owl house. So you go out in the middle of the night to see the northern lights.
Yeah.
You can concentrate on nature.
Oh.
Or constipate on it, either one.
Perfect.
And that's off Lake Louise right there.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the Scooter Lake right behind our house. And sometimes we have a herd that likes to come across there in the morning times, and then they'll go back to their bedding ground in the evening. So, you know, when it gets daylight and they get up and about, they'll come across, and they pretty much travel on a single file line like that.
They do. They'll, for whatever reason, they just follow a single line.
I think once they beat a path, it's probably easier.
I think so.
And there's always a leader.
There seems to always be a leader, and for whatever reason, it will just take off, and they'll follow. Well, in December, you know, the males will drop their antlers, and then around February, the females they'll drop theirs, and you can tell by the white mane that they have, And of course, the bulls will have very large antlers. They're not horns, they're antlers, so that they shed them every year.
Well, the good thing is when you get tired of the winter, you can count caribou. You don't have to count
Yes,
sheep.
you can.
But since that readout blew up at 91 and put all that ash up here, it was really hard on the caribou herd. A lot of the ones that survived that joined that herd to porcupine herd that comes in North Slope and stuff. They the ones that stayed here, actually most of them starved to death because they ate so much of that volcanic ash that it ground their teeth off. They couldn't even grind their food up. They couldn't pluck them lichens any longer because they didn't have any teeth left. They're just like eating real fine glass, just that volcanic ash.
So like a lot of people in Alaska, they never visit Alaska, think that we're in the dark all the time in the winter. Tell me about the light cycles. We live in the dark.
We live in the dark. Well, for 2 months anyway. The shortest day is about the 21st, 23rd of December.
And where we're located, how many hours of daylight's in the shortest day?
About 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. So just about the time you actually get the sun up above the horizon, it's going back down.
It's going back down. And the sun rises only 7 degrees above the horizon.
Yeah, not all the way up in the sky.
No, only 7 degrees. So
what time in the year would you say we're gaining light instead of
we're
losing?
it first starts off with like 3 minutes, but on the average for the whole year, it's about 7 minutes a day.
And when is that day? Like December, January? When do
It starts gaining the 21st and
December.
And the 23rd. It stays the same, and then on the 23rd it starts clocking down at 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, up to 7 minutes.
I see.
There was a time when there could be 400 or 500 out on that lake. That's a sight. That's the way it used to be here, but not anymore. It may be that way again someday, but when I came here, everybody in your family could kill 5 caribou. Everybody in your family, if they lived in this area here, could kill 5 caribou. Then it went to 2 caribou per family. And then it went to a permit only, so. We went from having an abundance of them, and it wasn't all man-made, a lot of it was volcanic. Mismanagement, yeah, there was mismanagement. There has always been mismanagement in fish and game. And that's the truth. But they're not as wise as they pretend to be sometimes, and all knowing about how nature's going to act, So thank God we're not in charge of all of that.
And then moose, they like to eat these little willows.
They love willows. That's their primary source of food, but they'll eat other type of food, like these are eaten on. It looks like birch to me, and so they're getting the sprigs from the birch.
The interesting thing, it's more moose attacks than bear attacks.
Yes, when they have a calf, they're very dangerous, as with a lot of the wild animals when they have calves.
In the winter, we see quite a bit of accidents of a moose, and somebody hit a moose, and you have the roadkill moose.
We get
too.
hundreds of moose that are hit by cars every year on the highway.
And how does it work, the roadkill moose? Who keeps it?
Who's this?
You can get it.
They divvy it out. You get on a list, and then you can, when a moose is killed,
There's Digger sitting down there drinking with his best friend. Looks like they're drinking vodka pretty heavily.
I'm playing with the kids here now. This isn't what I do in the darkest part of the winter.
More.
That might be one of Benjamin's friends.
More vodka.
You can enjoy Alaska. The short sunlight that you have in the winter and the wildlife and the beauty
Yes.
of Alaska.
Yeah.
Or you can just lose your mind like Digger.
Yeah.
Boy, we do have some really pretty sunsets here in the wintertime, especially in the wintertime. We have some really pretty sunsets because the sun's so low on the horizon, you know.
How cold does it get in Nelchina?
Well, the coldest I've seen it was minus 68, but that was in the early 60s. But I don't think we get that kind of weather. I think last year we had minus 43 or something on my thermometer. I have a digital recording thermometer.
So this is Scooter Lake sunset, and a lot of times during the winter when we actually do get the sun up 15, 20 degrees, you'll get these beautiful sunsets.
Mm-hmm.
And just a beautiful place to be. There ain't no place in the world like this. No other place in the world like this.
I never really get tired of looking out at the sunsets and the sunrises here. And sometimes, if you really want to see spectacular ones, is in the middle of the summer at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
And when those colors come up over the Wrangell Mountains, and they're about every color you can ever imagine. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, just look at that.
You want to find out more about what we do every day. It's not very exciting. It doesn't seem like it, but we do it every day. I shovel, take the snow off the panels, plow,
and eat licorice.
and eat licorice. Anybody want licorice? Philippe, you want licorice?
No, thank you.
It has just a hint of salmon, because I just got it out of salmon. Okay, we're gonna go out there and put that trap in.